So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. I'd like to start this session by appreciating you so much for making this channel grow. If you wish to support us, just subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. So today, two very important events have happened. One of the event is the one that was happening in the courts, the Milimani courts, and we're talking about the Finance Act court battle. The second very important event that has taken the attention of so many Kenyans is the big conversation on Citizen TV. So I was watching the proceedings there, where there was Ndindi Nyoro, there was Moses Kuria, and I saw the panelists and how they took the cabinet secretaries through a series of those questions. So after listening to Ndindi Nyoro, I took particular attention on Moses Kuria. So Moses Kuria's responses to what one of the panelists, or rather to what Sam Gituku was asking him, caught my attention, and actually is the reason why we have this analysis. So in a nutshell, Sam Gituku managed to smoke Moses Kuria from his hideout. I mean, and I could tell that Moses Kuria alikuwa na hasira kabisa. So I want us to go deep into this questioning by Sam Gituku on Moses Kuria, and how Moses Kuria responded, and how he attempted to evade or to run away from certain questions which were directly channeled to him. So Moses Kuria was busy having good time, educating Sam Gituku on Citizen TV, defending the KK government, saying that the KK government didn't introduce fuel subsidy. You remember what was introduced, I think, somewhere there in early August. If it's not late July, then it's early August.
Where did you want it to go? After you accumulate it, you tell them, Mr. Consumer, Mr. Motorist, Mr. Passenger, I have now accumulated so much money because you are the one who gave me this money. It is only right and fair that I give this money back to you. It is not a subsidy. This money, we saved it from every liter of petrol to go to some kitty as a safeguard. When the situation is not very favorable, we don't have our own crude oil, we don't produce oil, then that goes back there.
When media also went further to say that this is just what this government said they would not do, they introduced the subsidy, fuel subsidy. But you see, Moses Kuria decided to use a different name, He used a different name to say that it's like they were giving back to the society. Then Moses Kuria went on with stories telling Sam Gituku how the US made a terrible blunder by printing money during the COVID-19 season. And a move that he claimed caused inflation in the US to escalate to a 5% rate, a rate that has never been heard of in the US. I think this was when Donald Trump was the president, and according to Moses Kuria, Donald Trump is to blame for inflation that has affected the US and Kenya also, because of the dollar.
Number two, because of the situation in the US, whereby inflation in the US is at the highest. You look at the interest rate, 5% interest rate in the US market is never heard of. The whole world is suffering because of the actions of the US. You know what they did during COVID? They printed money. And you know what we are doing? We are all paying for that. You've had everyone. You've had President Ruto. You've had Antonio Gutierrez, who is not a member of Kenya Kwanza, talk about this unfair, practice by the U.S. and by the, global north that we in the south are suffering like that. So
while Moses Kuria was busy explaining a point, trying to convince, he was trying to justify certain points, justify why or how they deserve gold medal, just like he put it, Sam Gituku surfaced with a question.
Did you know this during the campaigns?
Sorry, say that again.
Did you know this about during the campaigns about what the US had done?
Moses Kuria's look on the face changed, and it was as if he had seen a ghost. In fact, he didn't answer the question. He avoided the question and proceeded with telling stories. Let's check this video again.
People who are talking about all
Did you know this during the campaigns?
Sorry, say that again.
Did you know this about during the campaigns about what the US had done?
No, they had not done it that particular time. Since this year only, my friend, just go to the US and look at the interest rate on what has happened in the interest rate.
I think in a nutshell, Moses Kuria was unable to respond to the questions asked by the panelists, and he resorted to careless rants, and to me, he appeared to be a warrior who was slowly losing his battle. Let me take you back a bit to last year, because this question by Sam Gituku to Moses Kuria as to whether he was aware that the US had made that blunder last year. That question, because Moses Kuria avoided it, because if Moses Kuria had responded to that question, it would have led to a series of other questions on how they used to campaign against Uhuru. So Sam Gituku was heading there. But Moses Kuria noticed that Sam Gituku was going to corner him, so he decided to avoid that question, didn't answer the question, but he appeared confused. You remember last year, when these people were campaigning, they talked much about how Uhuru could not deliver. When Uhuru brought in the subsidy of unga, they questioned that and they poked holes on that move and said that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta cannot deliver. So that's why he's bringing in these subsidies to just to please Kenyans. When Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta implemented the fuel subsidy, they say that is a wrong policy. They have a solution to make sure that fuel goes to below 100. Unga goes to below 100. That was the promise by these people. So now, Moses Kuria is coming up with a different narrative, saying that the US are to blame. I mean, if you listen to that clip, there's several clips that I've shared there, Moses Kuria is literally trying to blame the US for the crisis in Kenya. That is what I make of that response from Moses Kuria. But also on the same note, one can easily tell that Moses Kuria akona hasira na Royal Media. Actually akona hasira na Citizen TV. Because the way he used to respond, he even bring in the concept of Azimio. This is a debate. It's a live debate, national debate. Lakini anaongelea juu ya mara Azimio, anaongelea mara sijui nini, anaongelea, he's trying to divert attention, trying to, in a way, he was trying to tell Sam Gituku not to ask him any questions because he would answer any question the way he pleases. So I personally think, in a nutshell, Moses Kuria was not prepared for questioning. And that's what I make from that move, from how he responded. And because he didn't even want to answer those questions, I think he was trying to send a different message that if you continue asking me these questions, nitakujibu venye nataka, however I want. Mind you, Moses Kuria has not had a good relationship with the media. And that explains what last, I think it was somewhere there in July, if not May, July there, whereby aliongelea vibaya watu wa media, wakati kulikuwa na ile edible oil scandal, ambayo yeye ndiye alionekana kwamba alifanya mess, according to what the media said. Alifanya mess, na as a result, Kenya ended up losing on custom duty. So that blame was squarely on Moses Kuria. But then William Ruto protected him, Gachagua protected him. They say that he has done a very wonderful job. So Moses Kuria managed to aliponea hapo. That's what I can say. So in this interview, I can say Moses Kuria, if I have to give a scorecard in how Moses Kuria responded, I can just give him a 5%, because 5% is because he showed up. Because otherwise, if he had answered those questions vizuri, I would have even given him 70%, 80%. If he wanted to address those questions vizuri, I would have given him more. But in this analysis, I give Moses Kuria 2%, 2 to 5%. Just because he showed up and managed to say one or two things, despite the fact that he answered questions opposite. He didn't wait for questions to be sent to him so that he can respond to them. So in a nutshell, Moses Kuria hakujibu maswali ambayo aliulizwa. Alijibu maswali ambayo alikuwa amejiuliza yeye na alijua atayajibu. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to rest my case there. I have noticed that so many people who watch our videos forget to hit the subscribe button. Please do so. It's so important if you make this channel grow. And if you like this video gets a chance to be shared on the YouTube platform. It is so important. So, ladies and gentlemen, until we catch up again, please stay safe and stay blessed.